I have a name.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it.
I feel a little bit like one of those nature shows. Like when Steve Irwin would do the, I can't believe what I'm seeing, but this is one of those rare instances where we have and then he talks about some like rare species that you've never seen before. Why, you might ask? Am I trying to do a bad Australian accent? Well, let me tell you. Because this was, guys, one of the rare weekends where the Packers were inactive. Packers sat still, stood pat, bye week, okay? Everybody's off to various corners of the world. And in that weekend, when the Packers didn't even play, somehow they won. They won the weekend. And I am going to let our guy, Joshy, explain the theory behind the Packers not even taking the field this weekend and still winning. Joshy, give me those bullet points.
1, Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions in a game that it took the Texans playing the most incompetent half of football to actually get a 3-point victory. 2, Sam Darnold threw 3 interceptions and barely beat damn Mac Jones out there. 3, the Bears are an embarrassment. They need to blow everything up. They need to sell the team. Caleb Williams, where are you? What are you doing out there? Matt Eberflus, good luck. I hope you have a nice vacation home. Number 4, Aaron Rodgers. Ha! You stink! You stink! I think that's it.
Yeah, but the teams that matter tied you. It's just...
So that's...
Whoa,
They
hold
tied.
on.
They tied.
Chewy.
Yes.
Can we just take a moment for that brilliant dramatic performance by our guy,
Rodgers was good. Yes.
That was very good. So you're saying that it's not as big a win as Joshy's giving it credit for this weekend?
Mm-mm.
I'd be there with him if the Lions actually lost.
Yeah, the Lions in Minnesota would have had to lose in order for it to be a win.
I think we're seeing Minnesota starting to turn into the pumpkin that we thought they could be with Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold in particular turning into a pumpkin in front of our own very eyes, so I'm not as concerned about that. But when Detroit still only has 1 loss and you're 2 games back plus don't have the tiebreaker, in order for that to really feel like a win, they'd have had to actually lose that game.
Sure, that makes sense. I do think that there are cracks in the surface, and I think that's what Joshy's kind of grabbing onto and holding tightly to, is that like if Jared Goff can throw a career-high 5 interceptions in the game yesterday against the Texans, what's to stop him from throwing, 3 against an opportunistic secondary for the Green Bay Packers? And do not say to me, Gabe, I can look at, he doesn't even need to talk. I can
Rain Cloud?
No, he's going to say...
Pass rush.
There it is!
Because he was under constant pressure yesterday.
What's funny is
he was in constant pressure.
You didn't say the words, but I saw them flashing across your forehead like a neon damn sign. Pass rush. Womp, womp, womp. Pass rush.
Again,
okay.
Was he or was he not, Joshy, under constant duress last night, leading to the 5 interceptions, despite 0 sacks? They were getting in his face, rushing decisions, and that's why he threw 5.
He was under constant duress. The thing for me that made it feel like a pseudo victory despite them not actually losing was that team to me felt impenetrable up until this point. Like they have the 1 loss, but that felt fluky. I mean, Jared Goff was throwing as many touchdowns as incompletions for a point in the season. Like this was the first time you kind of poked a hole in, there's something here. That defense showed cracks. The run defense is still great. Joe Mixon ran it 25 times for 1.9 yards per carry, but there's some holes in this team. And it doesn't feel as daunting as it did maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I think that's fair.
But the kryptonite seems to be something we don't have a recipe for.
So it's not a letdown game?
What? We don't matter to Detroit, Chew.
They had a big win.
Oh, but we don't matter to Detroit. How could it be a letdown
So
game?
who's on the list now? We got Cincinnati.
Yep.
We have San Francisco.
Correct.
And we have Detroit.
Yeah. And
Who's next?
I just assume Chicago perpetually.
But you know what the nicest thing was? because I was blasting him as much as Gabe, but they can't get to me because they have no social media.
Okay, do we need to explain what we're talking about here? It feels like we've taken an exit ramble. Okay, we'll tease it for later on.
Okay.
But apparently, Gabe's mentions were ablaze this past weekend. Apparently.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Can I just say something else as we're teasing ahead to a segment that we do plan on talking about as the show rolls on? Chewy doesn't even call the one guy by his name in the entire clip I watched. The other brother, the other brother, the other brother is what he kept saying. And
also,
I was like,
it's Amon St. Brown. There's no Ra. Chewy forgets it every time.
What do I call him?
Amon St. Brown.
Instead of Amon Ra St. Brown.
What's the real one?
Amon Ra.
Oh, okay. Is his brother's the same?
Equanimous.
I mean, that one you're
No.
never going to get.
No.
Hold
the
on.
Ra,
I am so confused.
the last name is St. Brown.
only took 7
The
minutes.
first name is Amon Ra.
Oh, I thought it was a hyphenated. Raw.
Yeah, it is hyphenated, but that's part of the first name. But that's part of the first name. Yeah, there's 4 words, 2 names.
So what am I supposed to call him?
Amon Ra St. Brown.
Amon Ra. That doesn't flow. That's why I don't do it. It doesn't flow.
The brother you can refer to as EQ. That one's easier.
But he played for the Packers for a few years. So
Equanimous?
Yeah.
Where's the Ra?
There's no Ra. Because it's not part of the last name.
So why hyphenate it?
the hyphen is between the Amon and the Ra, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
It's not the
between
Ra and the St. Brown?
Did you think their last name was Ra St. Brown?
I thought they had a hyphenated name.
Oh, mom was Ra and dad was
Yeah.
St. Brown.
Yeah.
No, it's just the one son. And I do believe the son is sort of a thing there, isn't it? Isn't Amon Ra? Isn't Ra like
So that's his first name.
Amon Ra.
Where's the hyphen?
Between the Amon and the Ra.
I've never
so
seen
the
that.
N and the R,
Well,
if you want to get very specific.
Because you don't read.
I've never seen that. I've only seen it on the back end.
So you haven't seen the hyphenated first name.
No. Have you?
I'm struggling to think one off the top of my head. So, no, I guess that would be...
All right.
It is unique. I will say that.
I wonder if people out there are buying Joshy's theory that this weekend was a win for the Green Bay Packers, even though they didn't play. And it was a bit of a wild week in the NFL, but I think we are focusing specifically on the Lions' close game to the Texans last night. The Vikings, woof. As somebody who chose the Vikings -3.5 as their best bet of the weekend, going up against the Jaguars.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. I did.
On the best bet hitting.
I did squeak that one out, didn't I? I did use Chewy's phrase, horseshoe up the hinder, with the guys on the text line. Although, Joshy, I feel like you didn't know what that meant, did you? That was an old Jen, Gabe, and Chewy
I
reference.
knew that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, got very lucky on that one. So, Joshy's referring to the fact that the Vikings look like doo-doo. The Lions look the most susceptible that they have looked all season long. The Jets and Aaron Rodgers, LOL, LOL. And the Bears, who happen to be the Packers' opponent this upcoming weekend, guys, what is going on in Chicago? Have they just quit? Have they just decided we're not doing this anymore? Nope. Until you change our leadership, until you give us a coach who we think can actually lead us to some victories, we're just not playing anymore? Because that's sort of what it looked like, Gabe, this weekend.
Yeah, it kind of felt that way.
And last weekend, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, ever since the Hail Mary, this team has looked bad.
I don't like this game, though. Bad. Where I used to really like it.
Chewy, this team's just bad.
I'm just saying.
The only way I'd get a little nervous is within the next 2 hours they come out and they fired Matt Eberflus.
So who's their backup? Because they're talking about making a change.
They're not going to put in...
It's Bagent.
It's also is it still Tyson Bagent?
Yeah.
They're not putting in Tyson Bagent.
Is it Tyler?
Tyson.
Oh, Tyson. Well, just goes to show how relevant he's been. I thought it was Tyler.
Is it Williams? That's terrible.
I mean, he's a rookie, right? Like he's
Yeah, but so is Jaden Daniels, and so is...
Well, but again,
so
every
was
rookie,
C.J. Stroud last year.
Yeah, but just because every rookie, if you're not great in your rookie year, like I think it's the leadership. It's the offensive coordinator. It's the offense that they run. It's their head coach. It's probably even the management that just decided to botch this whole situation. This is a team that's playing bad and is only getting worse.
I don't think the problems are absent, Caleb. He is part of the problem as a rookie QB, but the circumstances around him seem to certainly be the bigger problem.
I mean, they have talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
their 2 tackles were out, but I mean, still...
I mean, DJ Moore's
LaFleur can come up with a game plan with a guy who's been here for 13 days and win the game. Is it that? Well, and they should have fired Eberflus last year.
Correct.
You know, with the number 1 pick coming in, they should have cleaned house. But you know what? That's their problem. They should really start thinking just like, you know what? I just want to win. Just be a closet Packer fan.
What's the strategy there then? Whatever you think you should do, don't do it. Do the opposite. Should it be like a bizarro world for the Chicago Bears?
What would the Packers do? That's how they should live their lives.
WWPD.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I would just purge their whole front office, the Packers, except Goody.
Wait, I'm just thinking of a marketing thing that we could do. Do you think we could make bracelets in blue and orange, write WWPD on them, and hand them out at the game this upcoming weekend?
Here's the thing.
People wouldn't know what WWPD stands for. We would.
They'd figure it out, I think, quickly enough. Packer fans wouldn't wear something that's that blue and orange.
Give it to. I'm saying we're giving it to the Bears fans. We're handing them out at Soldier Field.
Well, you would wear it if we made it in green and gold.
I'd wear it in Bears colors. I'm still taunting them. I'm picking on them. I'm making fun of them. I'm pointing at them and saying, "You guys are bad at this." We should probably like take out an ad or something.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over.
Ooh, could we afford, if we pool our money together,
a billboard?
I was going to say an ad on the Bears radio network because ESPN 1000, our sister station, carries the Bears games.
Yeah, we own it. So
can we afford
we can do
an
whatever
ad?
we want.
Can we afford an ad during the Packers Bears game on ESPN 1000?
Chewy, call
WWPD.
Call Angie. I mean, you can't make that authoritative decision. You got to call your wife and see if she'd be willing to pony up the dough. We got to do something. I do think that a billboard outside of Soldier Field that says WWPD would be hilarious. And if people are like, what does that mean? What do you mean, what does it mean? What would Packers do? What would the Packers do in this situation? That's how the Bears brass should handle all of their big decisions going forward. And yet, Chewy, you're worried about the Bears game?
I just don't like... I mean, I know they're a bad team, but this is going to be their Super Bowl. Eberflus is coaching for his life.
He was well, I thought he was coaching for his life this week.
His life is already dead.
No, I know,
right?
but...
They had 142 yards against the bleeping Patriots.
You just know how this crap works out. Now, I'm still picking them to win, but it's not going to be as pretty as one would think.
I mean, they didn't even stand a chance against the damn Patriots.
Chewy, they scored 3 points.
No, I know.
The game was over
bad.
at halftime.
It's bad. I agree.
I think the Packers
But coming off of buys and stuff like that, you're not quite as sharp, and we all know goofy things happen down there. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be a tighter game.
I contend
than you think.
The Packers could win by 3 scores if they played only 10 guys on both sides of the ball.
Man down? Yes. They're playing a man down on both sides?
We'll willingly tie an arm behind our back.
And they win, they're 21?
And they're going to win by 3 touchdowns.
I don't like that. I don't know. Chewy, that's making me uncomfortable, if I'm being honest. That's poking the Bears a little bit.
The Packers are favored by 6.
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm picking them to win. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, what's it going to be? 3-2
But I'm trying
again?
to think of a score.
So you're trying to both sides this thing.
Pretty much.
I was explaining to Dario yesterday what you do with the scores because Dario was like, I was pretty right about that. I said, okay, Chewy. He goes, what do you mean? I go, Chewy's the guy who tells us that he won the score prediction when he didn't come even close to the score prediction, but the margin of victory was similar to what the margin of victory in the game was.
I picked the game to be 3-2. I win because they won by 2. My difference was 1. Right. So
I think that's more impressive than saying 31-21. It is. The margin isn't as big. It's all about margins.
Yeah, we know how you operate.
Yeah.
In that specific instance, you would flip it around if you were on the other side of it. But I think what you're doing right now is you're trying to both sides it the best you can. So 1 week from today, Josh is forced to play the Chewy is right drop.
Yeah.
Do you think Potawatomi would operate that same way? You think if I walked over to Potawatomi and tried to place a bet and said, Chewy rules, right?
I imagine Chewy going to the window with his ticket that's a loser and just pulling this one.
I think I won.
I had a hand just like that before. I didn't win.
Because I win.
That's true.
Well, it was close.
We did pull that drop just for Chew.
So you guys aren't worried at all?
No, I'm not. Okay, hold on. I'm not in Joshy's camp of they're going to win by 3 touchdowns playing 10-man football. No, I'm not there. That's insulting. It's still an NFL team, so we have to be conscious of that. But I'm also not in the camp of the Bears are going to win this game. So I'm somewhere in the middle.
I'm nervous in the sense that I would be nervous for every game in any team can win on any given Sunday. But when you go into a game in 2024 favored by 6 points on the road, no, I'm not. when I've watched the Bears, what they've done since that, they've completely fallen apart since the Hail Mary Chew. Like to their credit, they played and should have won against Washington, who has played very well this year. And it seems like the Hail Mary broke them. Because that's how bad they've been since then, Chew.
But it's all coaching. It's all coaching. Because there is talent there. It's all coaching.
Sure, but
so
they can't move the ball consistently. But I don't know if the talent's given up. I mean, I'm not following the Bears that closely to know. When you've scored 12 points in the last 2 weeks, you've lost by 20 points and 16 points. You've lost by 36 the last 2 weeks. You're just... You scored 3 points at home against the New England Patriots.
I'm just saying.
At home.
I mean, look at Arizona now. Arizona, when they played Green Bay a couple weeks ago, were a joke. They were probably high 20s in the power rankings, which is where the Bears are, and they righted the ship. Right?
Yeah, but they didn't lose to the Patriots at home.
Did you just imply the Bears were going to right the ship?
He did.
Yeah.
What's their record?
Think about that.
What's their record?
Right now, they are 4-5.
So, are they done?
Kind of feels like it. Because
I think you got to put a caveat there, though. I think you got to put a caveat of barring a head coaching change.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, even with a head coaching change, that gives them a temporary boost. I mean, only one team in NFL history has made the playoffs after changing their coach in the middle of the season.
I'm not saying make the playoffs. I'm just saying he said turn it around.
Well, if turning it around would be making the playoffs. Otherwise, you're not turning it around.
Not just having a winning record.
The headline is Bears to consider changes after offense sputters. Is that the OC?
OC. Yeah.
You can read.
Yeah, that's Shane Waldron.
I thought that would be quarterback.
No, that is their OC.
Just a horrible
that's their OC because Eberflus was asked specifically about the offensive coordinator and Shane Waldron, who is their OC, and he left the door open to it yesterday.
800-990-3776.
They haven't played a division game yet.
Got a lot of things happening this morning. Joshy feels like even though the Packers didn't play this weekend, it was a winning weekend for the Green Bay Packers. Do you agree with that sentiment? Do you agree with that logic? 800-990-3776. Meanwhile, percolating over here on the corner is Chewy saying that he's worried about the Bears game and thinks they will win, but it will be closer than a lot of people
will win.
Correct. Thank you very much for clarifying. Thinks the Packers will win, but it will be closer than a lot of people think because the Bears are what? Like a wounded animal? Like you got to worry about them kind of lashing out, scratching you across the face or something? What do we got?
It's a must win for Eberflus. I mean, now if he gets blown out by Green Bay, Gabe, then they fire him.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the Bears are, if they get to 6 wins, I think they should be happy.
That would be 2 more.
Their schedule's brutal.
That's true.
Hardest remaining schedule.
Packers, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers.
So you're banking on that they've already quit.
Yeah.
They've already mailed it in.
I think so.
And there are signs of it when your leading receiver, your best receiver, walks off the field in the middle of a play.
That's what I'm saying.
He did some of that again this week.
Did he?
Just stopped running routes, kind of looked around.
I bet they're glad they paid him. The hell. It's a matter. You know what? It ain't that hard.
Well, you want to know something, Chew? And we got to get to break. Yeah. Let me percolate on something. Let me marinate on something during the break. Let me see if there's any consistency or any dovetailing between what happened with the Bears and maybe what has happened with the Packers in the past. I will think about that during the break, and we'll get back to it right after this.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center is the only place to go for that ring. It's the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. It's what I did. I didn't know what my now wife exactly wanted, but you can go to a Pinterest board, see if she's got any ideas there. Take that to the helpful team at the Jewelry Center, and they're always going to point you in the right direction because, A, the Jewelry Center has options, whether you're looking for naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. But the helpful team at the Jewelry Center, whether you go to Brookfield, Greenfield, or in Burlington, always going to be able to help you and point you in the right direction to make that dream ring come to life. Check out the online inventory, shoptjc.com, and when you head to the Jewelry Center, make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Backups continue. We've got an accident now on northbound 43, just about at the Port Washington Road off-ramp. Left lane is blocked with that, so it's north of Bender Road. Then we've also got an accident on northbound 41, just south of Burleigh. Got the right lane blocked with that one, so seeing delays all the way back to Watertown Plank Road. Eastbound 94, a heavy right out of the zoo through to about Mitchell Boulevard, and then to 35th Street. And then we've also got more backups on southbound 894 from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, low 43 at the lake, 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, night showers with a high of 56. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I pull on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on. Good mornings make for better days. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Not sure how much you know about Progressive Insurance. You may know us for insuring your home and auto. You may know a couple of our commercials. But what you may not know is that since 2013, Progressive has been honoring veterans with vehicle donations through the annual Keys to Progress Veteran Vehicle Giveaway Program, giving back to those who gave so much. Now, you probably didn't wake up today saying, I really wish I knew more about Progressive Insurance, but this seemed like the type of thing people would mind hearing about. Find out more about how we're dedicated to our customers and communities at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What's the one thing you say almost weekly here on the show?
Less eat.
Try again.
I don't know.
What's the one thing you've got?
Big boobs.
You've got time.
Oh, time.
You've got time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We got there.
Took off. I needed a few more hints.
Yeah. You put you in a... That's Dave's fault.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Reaction rolling in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. Brandon in the 918 says Chewy is uncomfortable because he has no faith in Green Bay.
No, that's not true. I don't have faith. I just want to see them start heading in the right direction. I haven't seen that yet. And it's getting close to when they need to do that. Now, Joshy, I'm saying you look at this as a win because you're seeing chinks in the armor.
Correct. That is exactly what I'm saying.
Which is, yes, I agree, but I don't think that raises to the level of a win.
I mean, a loss would have been nicer. If a
loss would have been a win.
If the Texans didn't put together, as I said, one of the worst halves of football I've ever seen, all they had to do was score like any points in that second half, and they would have had a much better chance. But 5 interceptions for a guy who was being talked about MVP, that's gone. That's not going to happen, even if they keep winning. You can't do that on national TV and win an MVP. Just not going to happen.
Tough for people to forget that one. Just walk away.
So what are you expecting this weekend?
I mean, I'm expecting a resounding victory, and if Matt Eberflus isn't fired, him probably getting fired. Like, their team's quitting on them.
So what if it's a 17-14? Where are you going to be?
That I'd be disappointed.
Okay.
But a win's a win.
But do you get a discount for rivalry games?
What do you mean?
Like
discount for rivalry games.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, rivalry games are different.
Sure.
The other team should be playing harder.
Yeah, now I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? They kind of go out the window.
I mean, but historically, this game it is a rivalry, but the scores aren't rivalry scores most of the time. Like, it's kind of...
Yeah, that's why Roger said, we own you. I've always owned you my whole career.
You know, I mean, maybe it's something like Philly and Dallas was. Where, like, at the half, like, Philly, it was a one-score game. It was 14-6.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And then Philly just blew the doors off of Dallas in the second half.
But the difference with Dallas and Chicago is Chicago has talent. They have talent. They have talent.
Okay, so let's talk through that, Chewy, because what is the difference then? And I know you're going to say coaching.
Yes.
But the problem is these guys aren't left to their own devices on the field. No matter how talented you are, no matter how many national championships you played in, or you're the number one overall pick and whatnot, you still have to follow the play chart, right? You still have to follow the playbook. And so if the coach is not calling good plays, it's not like these guys can go. I'm thinking of like a scene from a movie, and I'm not going to be able to nail it down right now. But you can't just like go, we're not doing that. Oh, I know, like Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
Thank you. That's exactly what my brain was doing.
I was waiting to see if you would get there yourself.
You can't just Varsity Blues this thing, Chew, where the quarterback just starts calling the plays on the field, and he's like, bleep that guy.
Agree. I agree, but that's why you have to fear a coach. Because any coach that allows the player to walk off the field in the middle of a play, I'm suspending his ass. And Eberflus is a puppet. That's it. He doesn't know how to run a team. I mean, look at Jair. Goes out as a captain, right? Nothing to do with the game. Stupid. What'd they do? Suspend him.
Yep.
That had nothing to do with the game.
Correct.
Not inside the game.
Well, and
like the idiot that was celebrating in the Washington game and drawn with the fans and gets beat. Suspended. You're not playing one game. That crap cannot happen because, like I said, once Eberflus loses the play, it's done. You're not getting him back. Once you lose a locker room, bye-bye.
Well, and so I brought that up to Gabe in the break because where my brain immediately went to was the Jair Alexander, Joe Barry thing, and how Jair made it very clear that he did not agree with the scheme that Joe Barry was running. Now, did he walk off the field? Was it that demonstrative? No, but we were aware that he had issue with the way he was being used in the defense, the way the defense was attacking opponents. And Gabe, I was saying we didn't love that Jair named himself a captain, but the team punished him for that. Like, this didn't feel as contentious as we're starting to see around the DJ Moore thing. I am seeing David Dunn weigh in on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. DJ Moore is catching a bad rap for that play. He actually did the right thing, stepping out of bounds once he realized he was out of bounds. He proceeded to stay out of bounds, knowing he can't be the first person to touch the ball, which would have nullified the play. So him staying out was the correct move, even though it looked the way it did. What was that, Joshy?
No, he didn't. Other players have also done the same thing and then waved at their quarterback and said, I'm not eligible. What you can do is if he completes a pass, he'll block. You could do anything. You can distract defenders, walking off the field and sitting on the bench.
And going right to the bench and sitting.
Before the play's over is not the right move. Yeah. No matter how they try and slice it.
Defend them all you want. Stupid.
But, I mean, it was contentious, Jen, after the whole captain thing. But the Packers nipped it in the bud. They nipped it in the bud, and they suspended him. And it was pretty contentious. Because, I mean, during that week, okay, how's Jair going to handle this? Is he going to be okay with being suspended? Is he going to take accountability? And he did. And Jair has not been an issue since that moment. Because the Packers, hey, we're suspending you. They came together. They came to an understanding, and they were able to move forward with it, to Chewy's point. And it seems like this team has completely quit. Because there's to Chewy's point, this team does have a talented roster. There's no reason you should be losing by 20, and there's no reason you should be losing 19-3 racking up less than 150 yards to the Patriots at home.
But I also think it is important for us to remember that the Packers were not the best version of themselves the last time we saw them on the field either, right? Like there were a number of things that we wanted them to clean up, hoping that the bye would be the balm to that issue. And I don't necessarily know why we would feel confident until we see them out on the field of the things that we talked about, of the penalties. And I mean, what is the thing that you are most confident is going to look different this week against the Bears? Is it that Jordan Love is not going to throw an interception, potentially a pick six? Is it that they are not going to have all of the penalties that they had? What was the other thing? I'm missing one thing because those things came in threes. There was one other thing in the game. Drops. It was the drops.
Drops, yes.
Of those three things, what one are you most confident isn't going to show up against the Bears when they play this weekend?
Interceptions.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest
because they should be telling Jordan, like, you don't do too much. You don't need to. We're just going to give you good balance between run and pass, play action. They have a good defense, even though they're not playing very good against the run. Just put him in positions just to make plays and not do too much. And I think they'll do that. But it just scares me every time you go into the Bears. The Bears organization wins more ugly games than any other in the NFL.
Oh, sure.
They win ugly, you know? Blocked kick, return for a touchdown. Something stupid, tip ball, you know? It's always goof. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but again, like I'm just... Unless they fire Eberflus, this is trending towards a team that's absolutely quitting on their coach. And I don't think that...
Yeah, there are signs.
I don't think that they're suddenly going to, hey, let's rally around Flus because we're playing the Packers this week.
I mean, this is not like... God, no name comes to... This is not like a Young, Bryce Young in Carolina, where you have no talent to throw to.
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams is supposed to be this generational type player. So it's in there. It's just the coaching is just terrible. I don't know. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. But, like I said, there's a lot of bad coaches in this league.
Gabe, how are you feeling about the game this weekend?
I feel very confident. I don't think that the Bears are a very good team. I think that this is an important, second half of the season for the Packers, and it's going to be a nice little kind of stepping stone to kind of launch into that second half. If Jordan, cleans up the interceptions, I think it's going to be something that you're going to be able to build off of. I am not looking at how this Bears team has played. I mean, again, I'm not at Josh's point yet. I'm not saying, hey, let's throw out 10. Would I be curious to see the result on a couple of plays? Sure. But look, I think that the Bears are trending in a very, very bad direction, and the Packers are going to be hitting the ground running coming out of the bye.
800-990-3776. Of the things that you saw the last time you saw the Packers play, what is going to be the thing that they get cleaned up this weekend against the Bears? The guys are saying that interceptions by Jordan Love, that is the easiest to clean up. I wonder if the interceptions and the drops sort of go hand in hand. If we believe that the interceptions and the drops were sort of maybe related to Jordan Love still being hampered by that groin injury, maybe we do see the guys. Because it's, you got Jordan working on his accuracy, making sure he's putting it where only his guys can get it, and you've got those guys working on securing the football. Maybe the drops, you see a strong drop in the number of drops when they play the Bears this weekend. Let us know. We'll put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. Okay, we got to get to this situation, this hornet's nest that y'all got us involved in this weekend. I wasn't here, so I'm just kind of doing this secondhand.
So it's kind of your fault.
I'm learning about this. It's my fault because I wasn't here.
Well,
Correct.
You went to the store and left me and Gabe at home, and then you decided to go to the gym, which was a mistake. You should have just went to the store. So it's kind of your fault.
You can be trusted for the store duration.
Yeah,
you can't be trusted for the store plus gym duration.
Not our fault.
We'll get into that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Want to tell you about my friends over at Professional Construction Inc. in Waukesha. Anytime we have a home remodeling project, guys, you know who we go to. It's PCI. Maybe you're thinking about building a new home or a home addition or a remodeling project. The PCI team is here for you just like they have been here for Dario and myself anytime we need help with a home situation. They operate a family-owned company. They build relationships in addition to doing exceptional work on your projects. So, if you're interested in a home remodel, a home addition, or building a new home, check out my friends over at PCI, Professional Construction Inc. Their website is simple. It's professionalconstructioninc.com, professionalconstructioninc.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
got some backups with a broken down vehicle stuck in traffic. 894 southbound, south of Beloit Road, left lane blocked. So watch out for those backups. Eastbound slowing down now, 76th Street through the stadium interchange. Westbound's a bit tight through the stadium as well. And then on northbound 794, remember that off ramp to Lincoln Memorial Drive, still closed because of a crash. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, decreasing clouds, windy, cooling temperatures with a high of 52 in the morning, dropping into the 40s by the afternoon. And then tonight, mostly clear, low of 36 at the lakefront, 28 inland. Weather's brought to you by Bartolotta Restaurants, offering the perfect holiday gift, a memorable experience with Bartolotta gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com, and happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? A succession plan that benefits business owners and employees. Full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Chewy says it's my fault. I left the kids home alone on Friday. And you guys put us right in the crosshairs of the Detroit Lions fan base. I think, to be fair, and
I didn't know they had that many fans, to be fair.
Okay, now you're doing it again.
What, doing what? I didn't. If I knew there were more than 4 of them, like, maybe we would have.
You're being an antagonist is what you're doing.
Look, if they've got a problem with the facts.
I'm familiar with this because I have children, so I know how this works. Gabe is absolutely being an antagonist right now. So while I was gone, how do you want to handle this, Josh? You want to play the sound of Chewy and Gabe on Friday getting into it? Like, how should we tell our loyal listeners what we're into.
The sound is over 4 minutes long.
Oh, jeez.
It was a segment.
So it was a long-ranging thing. Basically, the things that were said that people seem to really hone in on are saying it wasn't sustainable, bringing up achievements of the past, and the Packer, and that basically trolling. That we were getting trolled and we didn't know.
Okay, so hold on. So the way I follow it was the St. Brown brothers have a podcast, and on the podcast they called Packers fans delusional, saying that every year they go into every season thinking that the NFC North is just theirs for the taking, which it has been. Like, let's just stick with the facts here. Let's fact checker this thing for a minute. That's basically how it has worked, it feels like, for the last decade. So sorry about it, but that's why Packers fans go into every season feeling like they've really got a good shot of winning the division.
All right, so far, you guys, I don't understand why you would be mad at us because it seems like you're on our side.
Correct. No, I'm not mad at you for that. Okay. Well, there's a couple of things in the clip that I watched. One was this guy referring to Equanimous as the other brother for the duration of the clip.
In fairness, when one's an all-pro and the other doesn't have a catch...
The one played for the Packers!
In fairness, I think he had like 300 yards one time.
So you're saying barely?
Yeah. Like, he was here, sure.
That he earned a paycheck.
Yeah.
He got a paycheck. Is what I think we're trying to say. So then the St. Brown brothers retweeted our segment, your segment. You know what? I'm going to keep distancing myself from this thing.
Even though it seems like
your segment.
You're doing what he's doing. You're trying to both sides of this thing.
No, but we didn't say anything that wasn't true. Because I think we threw the Bears in there too. Look, the Bears had a little blip there with Sexy Rexy.
Yep.
And Kyler, and then they stink. They stink, right? We know we're going to be good, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have blips. We have little blips and then right the ship. The problem is they have
blips the other way. It's the inverse. Their blips are good, and then they go back to being bad.
Like what's wrong with that? History has told us that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're good right now. But you're going to suck in 4 years.
So the St. Brown brothers retweeted your guys' comments, the clip that we put out on social media saying, thanks for the endorsement or thanks for the engagement or thanks for listening sort of thing. I don't know. Which then put it on the radar of the Lions fans who jumped in Gabe's mentions. Now, as Chewy said earlier today, couldn't get to him because Chewy doesn't have social media. That's on purpose. That's intentional. Sorry about it, Gabe. So, Gabe, give us a little sampling of what you heard this weekend from Lions fans.
This was one of my favorites. Timu, Matt Patricia, and Assface just proved Amon-Ra's points. I don't know who's who. I think I'm supposed to be Timu, Matt Patricia, and Chewy's Assface. But it might be the other way around. I'm not sure. I think I'm Timu Matt Patricia because I have the beard.
Who's Timu?
No, we do not have time for this conversation.
So we've got that one. What else?
There's a lot of these we can't use because they're using words that are not only allowed to be said on the radio, not allowed to be said in like culture now. They're words we don't.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's some really bad ones.
I've got one here.
Okay.
Oh, did your little feelings get hurt, boys? They threw out the word delusional and you're all up in your feelings. You lost 3 straight home games and now you act like this? Time to grow up, fellas. New boss in town.
You want to see our rings?
I wouldn't make it 5 seconds listening to that squawk voice that emits from this guy, let alone think he's got any clue on this take at G916. So that's at me, Jim. He made sure at the end to tag me, so we know he's talking about
To be fair,
me.
Gabe, if I had been here, I would have been squawk voice. So.
I like when they get creative because some are just, who cares what these dumbasses think?
Yeah, they're boring. But how would they get to me? Would they have to write a letter? I'm not going to read it.
Well, I was about to say, that won't even get to you either. That would get through me first, and I'm not going to give you a hateful vengeance letter.
Sorry. I didn't even know what a mention was. I'm like, who mentioned what?
Yeah, that was a fun part of our text exchange this weekend of the guys explaining to you how that all went down. Let's see. It was like, what mention, who mentioned, what's a mention?
What are you on right now? Twitter?
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll through all the good ones here on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, literally the question was, what are mentions? ? From Chewy. Gave us a good laugh this weekend. So I didn't realize that you guys saying Packers fans have every right to be quote unquote delusional. I would argue that like the evidence is there, guys.
Yeah.
If there is evidence to believe that a trend will continue, that's not delusional. That's just using the data to come up with a conclusion. And I would say that most arguments would say that that's how you do it. That's what you do. You take the data points, which are that the Green Bay Packers have won the division many years. Gabe, one of the points that you had made was Matt LaFleur's record in the division, which was why you felt so strongly about, even if the Packers got off to a clunky start, even if the Lions were, having the season that they're having, the Packers are never out of it. And we have talked on this program about buffoon franchises and non-buffoon franchises. Whether you like it or not, other fan bases, the Packers are not a buffoon franchise. They make sound decisions in personnel, in coaching, in play calling for the most part. The one thing that you could attack them for is saying that maybe at times they have stuck too long with guys who clearly are not the right fit, whether that's at the quarterback position or whether that's at the defensive coordinator position. That's the one thing that you can point to and say, but I guess I would rather have loyalty be my flaw than some of these other things that other franchises are doing, Gabe.
Green Bay fans have been delusional for decades. The fact they said the Lions would only win for a couple of years, the Packers will always be good, is exactly why Packers fans are delusional. St. Brown living rent-free in their heads.
Well, that's interesting because didn't St. Brown wear the sweatshirt that said Green Bay sucks?
Yeah, but he doesn't think about the Packers.
Well, somebody thought about him. Somebody made a sweatshirt.
Well, yeah, but the reason why it wasn't Green Bay sucks instead of Green Bay sucks, because he didn't have a space between Green Bay. He made it one word. Apparently the reason for that is because he doesn't think about the Packers. He doesn't care about the Packers.
He doesn't think about them enough to spell it correctly, but he thinks about it enough to make a sweatshirt and wear a sweatshirt while he's headed into the game. I don't follow that logic.
Yeah, no, look, I'm right there with you. But again, you tread lightly because these are the same things that I said. And, if Lions fans, get a hold of this segment, they're going to be coming up in your mentions as well.
If Lions fans get a hold of this segment, it's because Maddie put it out there on social media. Hi, Maddie.
She did ask for permission, and I said throw him to the wolves. I endorse this, so I'll take 50%.
Wait, whose side are you on here?
I'm on Chaos's side. You having to turn off your mentions. This one feels like one Chewy would like. It's something he would say. These turds are soft as Charmin.
Kind of like that. I respect
Is that
that.
your ghost account? You
I'm just
ghost
looking
tweeting
at
out there?
winning seasons, though.
All right, what do you
Over
got?
the last
Research
30
guy?
years. 96, 5-11, 9-7, 5-11, 8-8, 9-7, 2-14, 3-13, 5-11, 6-10, 5-11, 3-13, 7-9, 0-16. Yeah, you guys got a hell of a franchise over there. 2-14, 6-10. Ooh, they went 10-6, 4-12, 7-9, 11-5, 7-9. I mean, just match them. Who's your daddy? Am I right or wrong?
Well, so that's what I think is very interesting, Chew, because yes, in order to be a formidable team, in order to gain a reputation as being a top team in the league, you can't just catch lightning in a bottle. It has to be consistent.
Yes.
It has to be year in and year out. That is the sign of a top franchise. Can they turn it around? Can they start making decisions? Have they? Probably. It is likely. But one season last year of being in the NFC Championship game does not a dynasty make.
No, it's a flash in the pan, actually. That's why it's just like, all right, prove us differently. When this run is over in 2 or 3 years, show that this is sustainable. Because it certainly has.
Well, and I think that goes back to the point that Joshy made at the beginning of the show, guys, which was watching Jared Goff last night pumpkin his way through that game to the tune of 5 interceptions was sort of a sign that, hey, this has always been a possibility, guys. Now, we have talked with the Packers about bad team or bad game. Maybe, just maybe, it was a bad game. And he never shows those colors again as the season rolls on.
We need a stronger word for bad game. Because if we're sitting here hand-wringing, and understandably so, over Jordan Love's interception total, which sits at 10, which, yeah, again, it's a lot of interceptions. When somebody throws half of that in a game, that's more than a bad game.
I know, Detroit, and we liked you. You were our favorite in the division.
Yeah.
You were our favorite. We hated the Bears and we hate Minnesota. Don't make us hate you. We kind of like you. I mean, we don't want you to win, but we kind of like you.
Add to that, we've had enough of your bleep GB Packers. Sterling Sharp in the corner of the bleeping end zone. Aaron Rodgers, Hail Marys. No, bleep that. It's our time. Go Lions.
Maybe. We will see at the end of the day.
Packer fans are confused because they think Gutekunst is a great GM.
Done pretty well.
Yeah,
I mean, our record over the last handful of years. When's the last time we had a losing record?
The Packers?
Yeah.
Well, was it 21?
Yeah, 22, Rodgers last year.
Let me ask you this, guys. As I'm hearing this, here's what I love about sports. I love the passion. I love the vitriol that lives under passion. I love that. But what I'm starting to see, guys, is this is a rivalry. Like for years and years and years, the biggest rivalry in the NFC North was always Bears, Packers. And then you guys talk about how you hate the Vikings, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Packers fans have always hated the Vikings. And to your point, Shu, the Lions were just sort of there. It feels to me, as I start to, as we are stoking the fires, as you're seeing this thing kind of go in full blaze, maybe the Lions are the rival now. Are you willing to flip that switch and say that the Lions are the Packers' biggest rival right now? Or is it just this season because they had last year and they're doing so well now?
Yeah, they're our biggest rival now. You know why? Because they're relevant. Yeah. We're always relevant for the most part, right?
Well, yeah. So, really, you could go over the last 30 years and every other team in the division is going to rotate their biggest rival with the Green Bay Packers.
Sure.
Because like Chewy said, the Packers are always relevant.
There's a reason the Packers have such rivalries with all teams in the NFC North now.
Yeah.
It's because they're the one that consistently are putting up a fight against all those teams.
Yes.
Well, they become relevant for their short stints. We've seen the Bears do it. We've seen the Vikings do it. Team up against them always seems to be the Packers, doesn't it?
You're right.
Why would that be?
Yeah. So don't hate us. Don't hate us because we're good. But you want to be like us. Strive to be like us.
But that's why they hate us. Because they want to be like us.
But we can change them, can't we? Start working on them a little bit? No.
I don't know, ass face, can we?
No, question. How would you do that, no social media guy?
Just keep poking
You
the
gonna
bear.
call him? You gonna pick up the phone and start cold calling like those political people did for the last month or so? Can we count on your vote?
I'm not big on delusion, even though they're the ones that called us delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's a good thing.
I do too.
I think it's a good thing to have kind of a new level rivalry, a new fan base that, and because again, we cannot sit here again.
Couldn't
I know
agree more.
Josh
A new fan base.
They're not a new fan base. I'm saying new for the Packers fans to jaw with.
Oh,
Again, to your point, it wasn't relevant, right? They were just sort of there.
I just want it on the record. That one time you guys went 0-16, I was winning. I was rooting for you to win.
Yeah, so
I wanted you to have one.
I don't want to see brown paper bags.
For 16?
Yeah, that was not nice.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves
But if you
that.
ask the three fan bases what franchise you hate the most, what do you think all three would say?
Packers.
Of course. And Bears, we hate you, but we laugh at you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. It's fun.
Craig weighing in saying, don't worry, guys. When Ben Johnson leaves after this season, it will all be over.
It will all be over soon.
Amon Ra remembers every player drafted before him, but sure, he doesn't think about the Packers. That from Colin in the 414.
That guy, if I have to hear him recite those damn players drafted ahead of him.
Got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We
How
roll
much
on.
money does he need to make before he forgets that?
There's not enough.
Okay. All right.
The limit does not
His
exist.
fragile little ego.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, you could be dealing with low testosterone, not even realize it. That's what happened with me. When I was doing the morning show, we had just started this up. I was kind of tired, groggy, just didn't feel like myself. Figured, okay, I don't have the energy throughout the course of the day. I'm waking up earlier in the day. That's got to be it. Well, it turns out my testosterone levels were low. I found out because I started working with Mentality. I now have a customized testosterone treatment plan just for me, and they can do the same for you to give you those energy levels that you had. You can compete at work and sports like you did years ago. So don't wait. Go to lowtusa.com now and book your appointment. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments at lowtusa.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore. Our helpful guides are so friendly and nice. So many bottles to try at the lowest price. So gather with friends as you sit down to eat. Grateful for all who made Thanksgiving complete.
With curbside pickup available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You got to have a condiment with the bread.
Yeah, you want
can't
some
eat the
sort
bread
of
alone.
Yeah, you want some sort of lubricant with the bread. Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
it's just necessary.
You follow?
Like
me
you
here?
don't just be sitting there eating like pieces of white bread with nothing on it.
Can't be going dry.
Yeah, it can't be raw dog and just white bread.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Guys, I want to talk about something important. You taking care of your health and appearance is not just about looking good. It's about feeling strong and confident and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy for you to do. That's right, you guys. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and look your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better, so why wait? Visit myquintessa.com to take the first step towards a more confident you. Reaction rolling in this morning as we continue talking about how the guys got in the crosshairs of Detroit Lions fans on Friday. Dave saying Detroit is good, not saying they aren't, but their fans and players are getting a little over their skis. Josh, you got to look at the division, conference, and playoff appearances that count for the NFC North. Then we can tell the St. Clowns that we aren't delusional. It's just a matter of fact.
We were talking about this back here. Amon-Ra definitely has it over the Packers right now. They've had success since he's gotten there. But there's one thing that always remains true, especially as Packer fans, is this will come back to bite you. A team with this amount of sustained success for as long as they have had, there are going to be times this comes up after the Packers dominate the Lions. It might not be next year, in a couple years, and it's going to be like, wow, maybe we shouldn't have ran our mouth against the team that is always at the top of the division.
Yeah, that's all we're saying. Enjoy it now because if I'm a betting man, from what you've shown us in the past, you're not sustainable. It's okay. And everyone wants to knock the king of the mountain, king of the hill down. We're just not buying it. Don't be mad at us.
Nah, they're going to be mad at us.
Mario in the 262 says, Dear Lions, if you come for the crown, you better not miss. See you December 5th. Justin says, at least they didn't call Gabe Johnny Raincloud, which he normally is on a Monday. Nice to not have that today. Sheesh, you're never going to shake that, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. And no.
What? Say it.
She's just as negative as I am. See, last week.
Guys, we can't break apart.
Last week, we were doing a positive only segment.
Look what they're doing.
Positive only segment. And Jen was the one who was negative. I'm just saying.
What did I say?
You're the one who brought up the pass rush.
I can't remember what the stat was.
We were doing
but
a positive segment, and you went negative.
And you're like, well, I know this is a positive only segment,
yeah,
but...
I did find a nugget that felt relevant.
Up, guys.
After this year, Johnson and Glenn will leave for other jobs, and it will all be over. LOL. That from Craig in the 443. 800-990-3776. The guys got in the crosshairs of the Detroit Lions fans this weekend. Gabe's mentions were ablaze. Gabe, how many tweets would you say you received off of your... Hundreds?
Who could say?
Hundreds?
I mean, literally, I had to mute it because every time I just put my phone down, I come back and it's just like, how many more of these are? I mean, again.
He should have never told me that. He should have never told me.
What?
Because now I'm going to poke the bear knowing he's going to get in trouble.
Yeah, but there's another gatekeeper.
Can you just wait until Friday when I'm not here?
Well, you got Joshy and Maddie back there. They're the ones who posted on social media.
Doesn't feel like they're keeping the gate, guys. It feels like they're opening that sucker right up, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. Gabe was like Jon Snow this weekend when he's standing in the field with the sword. And of course, Gabe doesn't know the Jon Snow reference because he's never seen Game of Thrones. But for all of the rest of the humans out there who have, you know what I'm talking about, right? The deluge of people attacking, and he's just standing there solo with the sword. We roll on right after this. Got to talk about Tyler Henry. Do you know who that is? My babysitter thought it was a musical act, so I'm guessing no. That's next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we've got some issues for sure. First of all, northbound on 794, we do have that ramp to Lincoln Memorial Drive still closed because of a crash. But now we've got in the backups of this, just as you're getting onto the Hone Bridge, we got the center lane blocked with a crash. So that's going to be affecting your ride. Earlier, disabled vehicles south of Beloit Road on 894 has been cleared. Delays are still sticking around, though, from Oklahoma Avenue down past Beloit. Westbound 94, heavy from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is going to be a bit slow from 84th Street all the way to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, decreasing clouds, windy, cooling temperatures with a high of 52 in the morning, but dropping into the 40s by the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 36 at the lake, 28 inland. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at lowtusa.com.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So this time, it's not my fault because someone scheduled a 6 a.m. flight, right?
Driver's gone. Somebody call the cops. We need to find that driver.
They could have killed someone. Whose car is this?
Yeah, come on. Whoever did this, just confess. We promise we won't be mad.
Do you think you're leaving any mystery as to who that person is?
I have no idea who he's talking about.
We'll close our eyes. Just take your car and get out of here.
Sir, that's clearly your car.
I have your wife's number. I would have called your wife and
The
said,
person who booked the flight at 6 a.m.
I didn't say that.
Whoa.
This is
shocking news. Wait, Angie's the one who booked this flight?
Oh, my God. What happened here?
Yeah, we're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking.
It's obviously this guy, right?
Yes.
I have a name.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
I only caught the tail end of the Lions-Texans game last night because I was previously engaged. I was downtown at the Riverside seeing Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium. And when I say the Hollywood medium, does that mean anything to you Neanderthals?
Yeah. He talks to the dead.
You went to go see a scam artist who thinks he talks to Hollywood people.
No, way off. The scam artist is only the smallest part of the wrong stuff that you just said. So Tyler Henry is a 28-year-old from California, and when he was a kid, he started to have premonitions about things. He knew his grandmother was going to pass away, woke up and had a dream about it, and then she ended up passing away a few hours later. He talked to one of his classmates telling her something that her grandmother had told him to tell her, freaked the little girl out a little bit. He talked about how when he was in high school, he was walking around the track in PE class and he got a message from beyond for one of his classmates. He told his classmates about it, details that only that person who had passed could have known. And that's how he realized that he had this gift. So last night he was in Milwaukee and I went with my mom and my sister and we enjoyed the show immensely. And group after group, person after person, this guy is nailing details about people who have passed, right? So he starts to get a message from Grandpa John and Grandpa Don, right? So now this one person has two grandpas, Don and John. So he's like, is there anybody in here who's got Grandpa John and Grandpa Don? There are a couple people actually who had a Grandpa John and a Grandpa Don. But he finally narrows in on this one woman and he's like, he's telling me about another relative who is a woman but has a similar name. Do you have a relative who has a similar name to Don who he would know? And she's like, Donna? And he's like, do you have a Donna? She's like, yeah, my aunt. And he's like, that's who it is. And he was going detail after detail. At one point, guys, he was talking about a young man who had died young in his 20s. And he was saying he has an interesting speech pattern. He's repeating himself over and over. He's saying it over and over again. And the mom was like, well, he had Tourette's. And he was like, that's it. Like, right. So, and then he says to them, and he's telling them about how he's okay and he's happy now and they don't need to worry about him. And he says he likes the ink on the arm. Does anybody know what that means? The ink on the arm? And the mom and the daughter simultaneously pull their sleeves up and they've got his name tattooed right here on their arms. I mean, it was Goosebump City. Chew, why are you looking at me like that?
Sounds like Fletch lives.
It's because it is.
He just inherited Belle Isle.
Really? You don't believe in this stuff at all?
No.
What?
No. No, I do believe in premonitions. I do believe in deja vu because I'll get that, which I haven't in a while. It's a little disappointing. Deja vu's great, isn't it? It's the same thing. Hey, I've been here.
You don't see Chewy trying to make money off of people with his deja vu.
Are you having deja vu right now? Because you've had this conversation with us.
No, but the guy, the famous guy that goes around and coaches hire him and he goes in there and...
Oz?
Yeah, the mentalist. He's kind of more of a magician.
That's more magic. That's not what this was, though, guys. Like, you're telling me that you don't think you ever get messages from beyond. You don't think your loved ones or people who have left you are sometimes sending you symbols and signs. Like, all he does is he's got a tunnel. He's got you know what he's got? He's got a cell phone that directly goes to heaven.
I was about
That's
to
what
say, he's got some BS. That's what he's got.
I can't believe you're telling me this is BS.
Well, okay, so here's my problem with guys like this. If he can connect with the people in the great beyond, how come they're always being so vague? Why don't they give this guy the details instead of him asking for details of, a similar named relative? Why can't they just say, hey, I'm Don, I'm talking about Donna?
Because that's not what they communicate. He can only take the message. What did he say? He said,
why wouldn't they communicate more specific?
He's just the messenger.
Why wouldn't they communicate
I
more
think
specific?
telling him that the names were Grandpa John and Grandpa Don was pretty specific.
No, I mean, that's how these people work.
Oh, come on.
Have you not seen this? They start with general things.
No.
Oh, is there anyone here?
But that's not what it was. It was, I'm hearing from, and he doesn't know who it connects to, but I will tell you this, he narrowed it down really quickly. Like, he was able to tell
because
you.
he's a professional.
No. I'm telling you, from
There's
an
gotta be an
energy
algorithm.
standpoint.
100%.
What do you mean algorithm? You don't even know what algorithm means. You can't just attribute it to
smells
everything.
like an algorithm.
No, there used to be one of these guys that used to go on like Oprah or Dr. Phil all the time. That claimed to be a medium, and the way you start with something broad, people raise their hand, and then you get more details and limiting people to get down to the
one of the ones he said last night was, he says, I'm talking to a grandpa who drowned. Is there anyone here who has a grandpa who drowned? A few people raised their hand. And he's trying to figure out from an energy standpoint where they're sitting in the room. He's like, no, I don't think it's you. And then he's like, and these people come forward and say, yes, our grandfather drowned. And then he goes, was it at work? They said, yes, it was at work. He has details, and then they're just confirming them. They're validating the information that he's getting. And then he talked about how one of the family members was in the LGBTQ community and how he passed away self-inflicted because he didn't feel comfortable living that life in that time. And they were like, yes, that's exactly what happened. I mean, it was crazy, the stuff he knew that he shouldn't have known about a room of 2,000 strangers.
I mean, my phone knows I'm going to the gym after this.
That's because it's listening to you.
Yeah, again, there's really easy
You don't
way
think
to find.
they sent someone in the bathroom to these two people that had tattoos, and the guy goes, hey, I got a great tattoo. And they said, look, we have sleeves. Yep, she's got sleeves. Call on her.
How do you explain him knowing that this grandfather drowned at work and then that his nephew was gay and that he died, in part because, how does he know all of that stuff?
Wikipedia.
Are you Wikipedia? Do you understand how the internet works?
AI.
No, he obviously doesn't. He can't even log onto his own computer.
I did. I'm on as a guest.
Nobody else believes in this type of stuff.
No, mediums are the biggest scam artists that exist.
I believe.
They're preying on people who then just get really emotional.
I
in that, and I think
believe
that's
there
the
are
worst.
some scammers. I also believe, because this is a wide and vast world, that there are some people who have that inner capability, who have that gift. Do I believe that some people take advantage of other people's emotions and grief? Yes, I do.
It's exactly what this guy's doing and exploiting it to make money.
He is. I think there are people who do, but it's like when somebody asks you, Gabe, if you believe in other life on other planets, right? Your brain says, well, yeah, it's a wide and vast galaxy. It's a wide and vast universe. It would be completely egotistical.
It's like the Lions fans. Kind of.
To
right?
assume that we are the only species. I think it's egotistical to assume that across the spectrum, there aren't people out there who can communicate with those spirits and with those energies.
I'm just saying I think the spirits and energies would be more specific instead of starting with vague things and be like, oh, is there somebody here with the name Steve? I'm getting strong energy of Steve. Oh, Steve. Oh, we've got, okay, not you, Steve. No, this different Steve over here. Like, there's enough out there that, yes, if you could actually talk to people who are past and no longer with us, I'm guessing they wouldn't just be
I think to do it,
speaking in cryptic
at
messages.
the drop of a dime.
I wish that you
my
had
dad's
been
calling.
there.
Hold on. No, Dad, it wasn't me. I didn't light the couch on fire. That was my brother Matt.
Mediums and fortune tellers use a technique called cold reading to coax information out of people with carefully worded questions and careful attention to body language, manner of speech, and the like to make educated guesses about a person. And by wording those questions vaguely enough that the listener fills in the details for them, the Forer effect, similar to horoscopes.
I think that is a technique, yes. But I also think that there are people who are deeply connected to the other side.
Yeah, Jesus. He was the only one. I mean, he's the greatest medium ever.
The goat of mediums, if you will.
He's the goat of mediums.
Put it on the poll. Was Jesus the greatest medium ever? 800-990-3776.
Really the one and only.
Well, that's how you become the goat, isn't it?
Yes.
You thin the herd. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I can't believe I'm the only one. Guys, oh my gosh. Chef Ed saying, I don't believe in that crap. These shows have plants sitting in the audience. I suppose you also believe that wrestling is real. Oh, don't come for wrestling. Don't you come for wrestling, Chef Ed.
Do you think I think wrestling is real? No, I understand what wrestling is.
DJ in the sauce says, South Park did a great episode about this. Please, Jen, you are better than this. Oh, what is this, John in the 262? Is Strofe there with the X-Files music? We started the X-Files music, okay? You're not going to swipe our stuff and then act like Strophe was the inventor of the X-Files music. 800-990-3776. He searches ticket sales or finds people who have talked about going to the show, researches their social media to find out what they have talked about, and uses that for what he did. 800-990-3776. People feeling very strongly about me having attended the Hollywood Medium last night.
I have a question. Why is he Hollywood Medium?
Well, because he grew up in California. And then so he started doing readings for a bunch of celebrities. So like one of the videos that they showed while we were waiting was celebrity after celebrity after celebrity who he has done private readings for and connected them with some
smart. They got a lot of money. It's easy to scam them out of money. That's just smart. I respect that hustle.
All right, you guys are making me feel very self-conscious right now, if I'm
pick
being
this up in my
honest.
spare time, I think. Take some vulnerable people out of their hard-earned money.
Nah, you wouldn't do that, Josh. You're too good of a guy. We got to take a break. We roll on right after this. Don't forget Rob Demovsky coming up at the bottom of the hour to talk about the green and gold and their game against the Bears coming up this weekend.
A pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks, straight for a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world, and they're joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Here District now, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Well, we got some trouble along southbound 43 right about at Keefe. We got the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. Backups all the way, very heavy, all the way up to Silver Spring. Also, we do still have that ramp from northbound 794 to Lincoln Memorial Drive. That ramp is closed right now, so careful with that. And then in the backups, we've got an accident with the left lane blocked just north of Car Ferry Drive. So that's really causing some problems over the Hone. Eastbound 94 slowing down basically from 76th Street all the way through the stadium. Westbound backed up out of the stadium to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, decreasing clouds, windy, cooling temperatures with a high of 52 in the morning and dropping into the 40s by the afternoon. Tonight mostly clear, a low of 36 at the lake, 28 inland. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash, where you can expect nothing but the best unlimited wash memberships, state-of-the-art wash technology, and powerful free vacuums. Located in Oak Creek, Waukesha, Greenfield, and now Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Had a devastating knee injury, tore my ACL, tore my PCL, shredded my medial meniscus, and had an initial surgery. That really didn't hold. Had another follow-up surgery around 8 years later. That didn't work, and I didn't want to undergo another surgical procedure.
Enough with the surgeries. They didn't ease the pain, and recovery was brutal. Carmen heard about another treatment for pain relief. The non-invasive regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
I simply figured, heck, I'm going to pick up the phone and call QC Kinetics. And since I've been treated, my quality of life has dramatically gotten better, and I can't thank QC Kinetics Kinetics enough.
These are the nation's leaders in regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics uses the body's own healing components to help provide relief and functionality.
10 months ago, I had difficulty walking up and down a flight of steps. Now I can do just about anything I desire. I'm back to the old me.
If you have joint pain, before you consider surgery, call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
This political season, you'll hear a lot of noise. But this November, Walker Media Agency has the expertise and team to improve your marketing, advertising, and IT. Start at WMA2024.com. Paid for by Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home to a generator to keep your lights on or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Oh, make me over. I'm all I want to be.
Potawatomi Sportsbook is upping its game in a major move for all the sports bettors out there. You can now use your Potawatomi Rewards card at most of the self-service kiosks and the betting counter. Bet on your favorite sports and earn rewards play along the way. Now that is a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook. I wonder what it would take for people to take the Milwaukee Bucks right now in an upcoming game. Things are looking lousy for the Milwaukee squad. Played the Celtics yesterday. A decent game if you were watching it. It was very entertaining, and the Bucks came out gangbusters and had a lead at the half, but then very quickly, I believe it was in under 3 minutes, whoop, Celtics took the lead. And then Bucks fought. They fought hard. Giannis had an incredible game. But in the end, the Celtics ended up winning, and the Bucks find themselves in a very, very tough spot from a record standpoint. Now, there's a lot of season left, right? Famously, we always talk about a lot of ball game left. But some news came out over the weekend, guys, from Brian Windhorst. I believe it was over the weekend, right? Maybe it was Friday after our show. Either way. And here's what Windy had to say about the state of the Bucks and the efforts they are making to try to improve this team quickly. Take a listen.
Often, which is scouring the trade market in the first week of November. As I was talking to teams this week, they were like, the Bucks just called. The Bucks just called. And I'm not sure what, I think the Bucks right now are just kind of searching and trying to cover their bases. And by the way, Giannis is not on the table. Dame is not on the table. Sure. They're looking for trying to help out some of their wing play. Chris Middleton's absence has been extended. I talked to one team who said, yeah, we talked to the Bucks. We came up with like 2 or 3 different scenarios, and we realized we're not allowed to make any of those trades. The Bucks are hemmed in on this second apron team. the new rules. They could not aggregate players together. They can't put like 2 or 3 players together to make a trade. They can't do a trade where they bring back more money. They have traded away the next 6 first-round picks, either the picks or the swaps. They have traded away the next 6 second-round picks. There's $75 million in the luxury tax right now. I don't think help is on the way through the trade market, but they are making calls, which definitely was interesting this week because from what I can tell, they called pretty much the whole league.
I mean, we just got done talking about the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
How much farther does this have to go until they lose this team? They lose the players. I mean, 2-8. Cleveland's 11-0.
Yeah. I mean, some of that's kind of already happening. I mean, they have lack of effort losses up and down those 8 losses. You know, Giannis was talking about, you know, the lack of compete that they had against the Knicks on Friday night. They had some of that against the Bulls and Nets earlier this year. I mean, if they competed the way that they did against the Celtics, or even in those 2 losses that they had against the Cavs, the record's a lot better than it is, and you're feeling better about, okay, you know, if they had only lost a few games going into that game yesterday, you walk away going, hey, that was a great game, middle of the season loss, but, you know, Bucks and Celtics, you know, especially once Chris gets healthy, you start feeling better about it. But instead, it ends up just being a loss that sends you to 2-8, and you just have this empty feeling in your stomach. Geez, I don't know when this is going to get better. I don't know how this is going to get better.
That's the thing that I come away with watching that game yesterday and, you know, being familiar with the games leading up to it. Guys, they're stuck. The Bucks are stuck right now. They're stuck with who they've got, and we know that there are issues there. Some of the guys are aging, and they are slow, and even if you want to go out and get a younger guy who could maybe help with that, you just heard what Wendy said. Like, there are issues with where they are from a salary standpoint and which apron and all of the other things. And the NBA is very confusing, honestly, in that space. Like, you have to really
cap is,
you have to really like be in the nitty gritty. You got to get it very weedsy to understand all of those details and how
you want me to go into
the
those
contracts.
Details?
We don't.
There we go.
If you want me to, I can explain it if you'd like.
That sounds terrible, actually.
Did they ride this horse too long? Should they have blown it up earlier?
No, because you have to try to do whatever you can to keep Giannis healthy, because Giannis is the cash cow.
They're 2-8.
Yeah.
Are they not good?
They've got talent. They're not. I will say this: I don't think they're a championship team, but they have more talent than 2-8.
Okay.
Again, I think it's a talent.
Something our fans can relate to.
Okay.
Okay. Are they the Jets?
No, they're better than that. Because I think this is still a team.
I'm just saying, Gabe, teams that we thought were going to be in the mix. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville. Are they Jacksonville?
Probably. I mean, look, I still think this Bucs team is probably going to make the playoffs.
Well, okay, so let's do a comp here because I'm kind of liking the thought process that Chewy is unloading here. So Giannis is like a Rodgers, Giannis is like a Lawrence, Giannis is like he's better than those two, right?
Maybe like a Cincinnati?
Okay.
Or like a Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Because, again, he put up great stats. Still lost yesterday.
Yeah.
Still lost yesterday.
And in the game prior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Giannis. I'm talking about the Bengals. Yeah, that's a decent comp.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are the comp
because they have talent. Obviously, would Chase be your Dame?
Yeah, and oh, man, if Dame just plays a regular Dame game yesterday, he was off shooting. Like if he was 1 for 8 from 3. I think he hit the rim less than he. It was bad.
We just can't, the Bucs cannot rely exclusively on Giannis and Dame to get the job done. I know that last year we tried that, and you were saying it's going to take time for this relationship to cook, for them to get used to playing together. But what they need, Gabe, is more production from everybody else.
Yeah, part of the problem is they have to make decisions at times. Like with the Celtics, like they bring in Pritchard off the bench, and he can play defense and shoot. With the Bucs, okay, well, we've got Andre Jackson starting now, but he's such an offensive liability, they had to take him out because the Celtics were able to do defensive things defensively.
Gabe.
So then they've got to bring in A.J. Green, who's, better defensively, but he can shoot. So they have to make decisions about offense versus defense where other teams don't have to do that. And then you have Ryan Rollins, who came in yesterday.
What's his voice?
That's a made-up
What is your voice?
What? Ryan
Rollins? That's a wrestler.
He had a sick block.
That's Seth Rollins' cousin.
John Johnny Squawk Box.
Johnny Squawk Box.
We got to take a break. We've got Rob Demovsky coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around.
This year, during the NBA's in-season tournament, ESPN Milwaukee is putting Bucks tickets on the line all week long. Just tune into ESPN Milwaukee and be entered into our Emirates NBA Cup Bracket Challenge. Right now, we're looking for caller number 4. Caller number 4, 800-990-3776 to call in. And you are going to have the option because our show has been assigned West Group A. So if you're the caller at 4 at 800-990-3776, you are going to get your pick of one of 5 teams in West Group A. The Timberwolves, Clippers, Kings, Rockets, or Trailblazers. And after that, it keeps going throughout the course of the week. So then you'll follow that team, whoever you pick, throughout the in-season tournament. And if your team wins, you win those 2 Bucks tickets. If your team doesn't win, you can still secure your seats for only unforgettable moments at bucks.com/tickets. Call the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line, 800-990-3776 right now.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have some backups right now. We've got northbound on the Hone Bridge. Not where you want to go right now. First of all, we have that off-ramp to Michigan and Clybourne. Also, Lincoln Memorial Drive. That whole area is closed off because of a crash on that ramp. And then in the backups over the Hone Bridge, we do have an accident that's got the left lane blocked just north of Car Ferry Drive. So it's just going to be a brutal ride over that. 4394 northbound is actually a lot better of a choice for you this morning. Southbound on 43, right about at Keefe, got the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. Delays all the way back to Good Hope Road. Westbound 94 is actually looking okay. Eastbound's a little bit tighter from about Hawley Road through the stadium interchange to 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, decreasing clouds, windy, cooling temps with a high of 52 in the morning, dropping into the 40s for the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 36 at the lake, 28 inland. Weather is brought to you by the Corners of Brookfield. Head to the Corners for all of your gifting needs and find something for everyone at any of their 30-plus restaurants and retailers. thecornersofbrookfield.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client. Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
This Veterans Day, Tsunami Express Car Wash is saying thank you to all the veterans, active military, and service members. On November 11th, come in for a free car wash as our way of showing our gratitude for your service. With 5 convenient locations across greater Milwaukee, it's easy to give your car the care it deserves. Find a location near you at TsunamiExpress.com and enjoy a clean car this Veterans Day. Tsunami Express Car Wash. We salute you.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidde. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidde and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. based on total household installations as of December 2023.
We need a new intro for this year, though.
All right, we'll work on it.
Consider it done, Rob.
ESPN's #1 source for green and gold information.
Look, I would suspect that we don't see Malik Willis throw the ball down the field a whole lot, especially early. But it would not surprise me if we got back to more of the quick West Coast stuff.
Our most musically inclined and bald guest.
I was overly harsh about Gabe's golf game because I played terrible yesterday.
It's Rob Demovsky.
This better be a great segment.
On Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, let's get serious around here. Time to talk about some green and gold taking on the Bears this weekend. Rob, Joshy had a really unique way of looking at this past weekend when the Packers were idle, obviously on the bye. He said that the cracks you saw with the Lions and the Vikings and the Bears just being really, really bad and the Jets LOL was sort of a de facto win for the Packers this weekend. Can you buy that theory? Because I'm kind of right there with him. Like, yes, the Vikings won, and yes, the Lions won. You would have probably preferred the other outcomes in both of those games. Right. But as bad as they both looked, it feels like there was some good things happening for the green and gold, even with them not playing.
I can see why Josh floated that theory, and I get it. But on the flip side, the Lions and Vikings both won those games, and sometimes winning a game ugly can do a lot for a team as well. You know, like you can be like, boy, we know we got lucky there, and we got to step it up and clean some things up. So, if I were the Packers, I'd feel a heck of a lot better if one or both of those teams had lost. But maybe Goff got his bad game out of the way. And maybe the Vikings will figure it out. I do think the Bears at this point are probably headed in the wrong direction and a lost cause. Although you're going into that place this weekend, so you can never take anything for granted.
Does it scare you a little bit, Rob, the way they got embarrassed at home? And the Bears always win ugly. Like, I think the Packers win, but I think the fact that they were embarrassed, unless they've already quit on Eberflus, then I would have felt better if they beat the Patriots, even though, both teams are very good.
Like you're going into a wounded animal a little bit, Chewy, for the Packers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I see what I feel you. Like I've said before, though, like I really think momentum is a big thing in this league and in sports in general. And Bears don't have it, man. I mean, they don't have any of it. So I think the Packers are in a pretty darn good situation coming off a bye, going in there. I really do.
Rob, you had the piece last week, ESPN.com, about the 4 things the Packers needed to fix to make a run into the playoffs. Those 4 things being Jordan Love's interceptions, drops, penalties, and the pass rush. Which one of those 4 do you think is the most likely to get fixed coming out of the bye?
I think the interceptions are probably going to just be a thing they're going to have to deal with. Drops is probably not the most critical. I guess I would say penalties. That's probably the easiest thing to correct, Gabe, because those are discipline things, right? Those are focus issues, technique issues. They're going to get back to practice today. It's a little bit sort of a bonus practice. You don't normally obviously practice on Monday. And I would have to think there's going to be a lot of individual periods spent on technique and things like that. The other thing, too, maybe they have to use a little bit less of Jordan Love's hard count and cadence to get the offensive line, to stop false. And it's actually not even the offensive line. I mean, we saw false starts from a running back and a receiver last week. So I would say that's probably the easiest fix. I don't think Jordan Love's going to end up with 20 interceptions. I don't think he's going to double what he's got. But I think they might have to live with a few more of those.
Rob Demovsky hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Okay, I'm looking at the Packers' schedule, and ahead of them, they obviously have the Bears game. We've talked about that. Then they've got the 49ers, then the Dolphins, and the Lions. This 4-game stretch feels very critical for the Green Bay Packers. And I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins right now. They're taking on the Rams tonight. Rams are 2.5-point favorites at home tonight. The Dolphins have only won 2 games this season.
Right.
If you had to guess their record over the next 4 games, how they'll go in that 4-game stretch, what would you say right now?
San Francisco is kind of the wild card in there, right? Like Packers have, had trouble with them before out there. More this game is here. So, I would say at worst they're 2-2 in that stretch with losses to, San Francisco and Detroit. I think 3-1 is reasonable. I definitely think San Francisco is beatable. The way the Detroit game went, I don't see them going there winning, but I would have told you the same thing last year on Thanksgiving. And they start the game with the deep pass to Christian Watson and basically never look back.
Rob, you had pass rush is one of your 4. We didn't even talk about it. Is that because we're resigned to they are what they are? I don't see him getting any better. No one's going to develop the hump in the next 3 weeks.
No, you're right. That's why Chewy, it's on the coaching staff to come up with something, right? They've been creative with some of their pressure packages. Like we talked about before, like they blitzed linebackers and safeties, but that doesn't always mean they actually rush 5. They might their rush 5 or more percentage is, I think, second or third lowest in the league the last time I looked before the games this weekend. They might just have to send 5 or more often. You cannot sit there and let quarterbacks pick you apart. Good quarterbacks anyway. And they still have some good quarterbacks coming up. I still think Purdy's a really good quarterback. We don't know necessarily about the Miami situation. Detroit, Minnesota again. They've got some good quarterbacks that they're playing. And you just can't let good players sit back there and pick you apart. The time allowed in the pocket is just way too much, and time the quarterbacks are having to throw, whether inside or outside the pocket. It's just you can't play winning defense that way.
So with that, Preston Smith traded away at the deadline. Rob, why do you think Goody didn't say during his press conference that, Preston came to us, requested a trade, and instead let that be known once he arrived in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting, Gabe. Oftentimes, as you guys know, the Packers don't like to air players' businesses. Like when it comes to injuries, they'd say, hey, he's going to be out, but you need to ask the player about it. Maybe they didn't want to, air Preston's dirty laundry. But I think it would make the trade a little bit more understandable from the Packers standpoint, honestly, I'm surprised that they didn't leak it, even if Gutekunst didn't want to get up there and say it. Sometimes they'll leak a little bit of an explanation behind the scenes. So I'm a little bit surprised at that. The only thing, and I'm not saying Preston's not telling the truth, but could Preston be trying to save face a little bit too? And who knows? Could he have maybe didn't ask for a trade, but he gets traded and he's feeling hurt about it and feeling unwanted, and maybe that's why he said it. I don't know. I'm just floating that as a possible theory. But I do think it's a little surprising that they didn't honor off the record sort of explain what went into the trade, if that is indeed what happened.
Rob Demovsky is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy with us this Monday morning. Okay, one of the things we have talked about is the MVP and the LVP for the first half of the season. Who has been the Packers' MVP, the most valuable player, contributing to where they are in the records? And who has been the LVP? We got some candidates here. Stokes, Gary, LVN, Clark. Who do you think has been the MVP and the LVP of the first half of the season?
Man, I swear, I've said this to you, Jen, before. I think you get our ESPN NFL Nation emails because our assignment.
I don't. So this is. I think I'm. You know what I am? I'm an ESPN medium, is what I am.
Rob, we've known she's gotten those emails for years because she cheats all the time when we do power rankings on Tuesday. So it makes a lot of sense.
So our power ranking blurb assignment this week is who is the non-quarterback MVP of the midseason mark for the team you cover. So, to me, it's. And I haven't done the assignment yet because I've been thinking about it. They send this out as soon as the Sunday night game is over. We get this email. Not that anybody needs to know when we get our emails, but my initial thought was for the MVP. Obviously, said non-quarterback was Xavier McKinney. I still like what Josh Jacobs has done for them. I really do. It's interesting that the two guys I'm considering, and maybe there's others that I need to consider, are the free agent additions. I think the other way, the other least valuable, I think Rashawn Gary is the runaway in that. I mean, he just, maybe shouldn't hold a guy's contract and salary against him, But when you pay a guy that kind of money and the production is what it's been, that's hugely disappointing. They'd rather, Stokes, they'd rather not have to play him as much as they are. I still wonder about Van Ness when he's going to maybe flip the switch and sort of become what they hope he is. But to me, it's Rashawn Gary and at this point, Xavier McKinney, but I'm open to consider other possibilities on the MVP side.
Rob, do you agree with Goody's philosophy when he says, one of the reasons for shipping Preston Smith out is these young guys need reps to make them better? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I mean, if you're good, you play. If you're good, you play.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't buy it because I'm not sure there's anybody back there that has just been unbelievable, and you got to get him more snaps. You know what I mean? Like, Mosby had a half a sack in his first playing time the other day, but I'm not saying all of a sudden, wow, Aaron Mosby, we got to get him 35 snaps a game. I don't. To me, I just don't see where pass rush comes without the coaching staff, dialing something up.
Rob, before we let you go, last night I went to the Hollywood Medium at the Riverside. It's this young man, Tyler Henry. He's Netflix famous, Celebrity World famous. And these guys were raking me over the coals for it, man.
Just telling me. Raking him over the coals, I guess, because you went to the show, but adjacent you were being.
Basically telling me I'm a sucker, basically telling me I'm a mark. Good job handing this guy your $45 per ticket, by the way.
That's what I was going to ask. Did you pay or were you comped?
We paid for our tickets.
You hesitated there.
You're saying it would have been better if we hadn't paid for our tickets?
Trust me, I'm not one to shy away from a guest list or a guest pass here or there. So,
you could have went to Blockbuster and got Fletch Lives for probably $3.
At what Blockbuster, Chew?
It's been a little more expensive to get the DeLorean to go back in time to go to Blockbuster.
I know at one time I definitely owned Fletch on VHS. I don't know if I owned Fletch.
Almost saved you $3.
We had five movies when I was a sophomore in college, and we had no cable in our dorm. We had 5 movies on VHS that we just rotated. I'm pretty sure it was Fletch, Goodfellas, Bull Durham, About Last Night, and don't judge me for this because if one of us happened to actually have a date, we had When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, a great
There you
movie.
go. That's a pretty good rotation.
I know. That's it for five films?
Yeah,
that's a pretty good 5 films.
At one time, I could probably recite every line from all 5 of them. We just played it over and over again.
I love that. Dan wants to know if anyone has an oceanfront property in Arizona they'd like to sell Jen this morning. All right, Rob, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Always good stuff, and we very much look forward to this week. It is Bears week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and ESPN Milwaukee, and that never disappoints. See you, Rob.
All right, have a great week.
Oh, what is Mike McCarthy, the trivia answer to up there on Get Up?
The coach who has the most active wins inside AT&T Stadium as a visitor.
Oh, okay.
So he's won 3 times there as a visiting
What's
head coach.
LaFleur? He's got
LaFleur's got just the one.
Just one last year. He'll have more.
Yeah.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them in this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. You can also make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you experiencing joint pain that is keeping you from living the life that you want to live? Especially right now as we're approaching the holiday season, you don't want to be slowed down by that joint pain, whether it be your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back. You got to be like me and go visit QC Kinetics. When I went to QC Kinetics, I had my back that was acting up, and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to go get this seen by a true medical professional, and QC Kinetics blew me away from the experience start to finish. Platelets, plasma, tissue regeneration, things that I had only heard in theory, but now can see with my own two eyes on how QC Kinetics can help people get their life back. From when you arrive, the entire process is personal, the diagnosis is comprehensive, and they meet you exactly where you're at in whatever pain you're feeling. QC Kinetics, don't hesitate and get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics at 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
One night, one stage, Billy Joel and Sting. Saturday, April 26th. One special evening at American Family Field, Milwaukee. Pre-sale for City Card members Monday, November 11th at 10 a.m. through Thursday, November 14th at 10 p.m. Public on sale Friday, November 15th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. Saturday, April 26th. Don't miss Billy Joel and Sting.
Attention football fans, the season's heating up, and that means it's time for jaw-dropping plays, spectacular touchdowns, and memories that'll last a lifetime. So if you're looking to grab the best seats for all the excitement, Vivid Seats is your go-to playmaker. With an incredible selection of tickets and a game-changing rewards program, Vivid Seats is your ticket to every thrilling moment. Don't miss out. Experience it live with Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor.
Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursdays.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive.
She's in VFib.
1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, pumpkin seeds.
No, little suckers. They might be. What did you say before, Jen?
Sesame, but those are white. Like
yeah. No,
white.
These aren't white. No, this isn't on the outside. This is on the inside.
Seeds on the inside.
Oh,
yeah.
So you got some sort of like
scrotum.
On 94.5 ESPN. Here we go.
Before we let you go this morning, Packers Nation, it is Bears week. We've been talking about the state of the Bears. Can they maybe rally and put together a decent second half of the season? Well, apparently, Eberflus was on with our buddies down at ESPN Chicago, ESPN 1000. And here's what he had to say this morning with our friends, Cap and Jay Hood.
Coach, I asked you this last week that are you in crisis? And you said, no, we're not. If this isn't crisis, I don't know what it is. So I ask you again, is this a crisis that's going on right now in Hallis Hall, and how does it get addressed?
You know, we're looking at this week and this week only. We do have evidence on tape that we've played good football during the course of this year. We got to pull on those experiences.
Coach, your cell phone's as bad as the offense right now.
All right, we'll put him on hold and see if we can reestablish.
Damn! I mean, come on, man. This is 2024. Can we get a freaking landline? I mean, what are we doing? Seriously. Get the man a phone that works, please.
We'll try to reestablish with Matt Eberflus momentarily. Here on the
I'm serious.
Cap and J Hood Morning Show.
Yeah, Cap, you're not wrong. Communication issues prevalent all season for the football team.
I mean, his phone line's as bad as Waldron's play calling.
Okay, all right.
I ain't getting him back. That ain't happening.
So the context there is that he had lost connection multiple times with them. They actually went to break to reestablish the connection. And Cap lost his mind there a little bit.
Yeah. Can we get him a landline? Did he actually say, can we get a landline?
He did.
I mean, I was shocked, so I went back and listened to some of this. Cap's asking him straightforward questions I don't hear coaches get asked in those radio segments.
Especially on the home of the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
ESPN 1000's the home of the Bears.
Well, he's past coach speak time, you know. I'm saying Eberflus. You know,
obviously not. He was giving coach speak.
The coach speak ain't going to work. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I'm a certain partner.
We've got evidence on film that we've played good football this year.
Could we have that film? Because we don't think it exists.
Gonna need to see that film, sir.
If you, like me, enjoy a little shart and farter, I would just go back and watch the whole entire thing. Because they're pretty unrelenting in the questions of Matt Eberflus, and he's definitely uncomfortable and not answering questions directly. They ask about Waldron. He says, we haven't decided yet. And they just go on and on, hammering him with questions that he doesn't really want to answer.
So there's a little bit to me, guys, again, doing this from a peripheral, not being in Chicago, not covering the team directly, but doesn't it feel like that's just sort of Eberflus's vibe? He's not Dan Campbell, right? Like Dan Campbell, you start asking him questions he doesn't want to answer, he's going to let you know right away he doesn't want to answer it. And you're out of line if he thinks you are. Whether or not a journalist or a radio host is out of line to ask that line of questioning remains to be seen. We could have that debate. But Eberflus doesn't carry himself like a guy that won't be pushed around. And I wonder if that's affecting the team as well. If they're kind of saying, like, this guy's not an authority figure. This guy doesn't have it figured out. This guy can't lead. And Chewy, you have made this distinction over and over again about sometimes guys are just not head coaching material.
Yeah, no. They're better coordinators or whatever. Because I'm telling you, you have to fear your coach a little bit. Because if you don't, then you're going to do things what the receiver does, which is totally unacceptable. You know, it's when you lose a team, it's scary. The locker room, because guy starts packing cars with 5 weeks to go.
When did you experience that? Early in your career? Late in your career?
Late in your career, but it was always nipped in the bud. The only time it wasn't nipped in the bud, and I love them to death, but it was under Ray Rhodes. Can't let the players run the show. And they want to run the show. Can't let them.
Oh, we know you guys want to run the show.
Mm-hmm.
Have you listened to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy from 7 to 9, Monday through Friday on ESPN Milwaukee? Garrett reminds us, be careful what you wish for, guys. Ben Johnson could be going to Chicago.
It's Chicago.
Keep that in mind. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.
Still seeing some delays northbound on the Hone Bridge, all because of two things. First of all, the